I don't know what just happened. The computer just did something really weird. I just need to apologize for my look today. I have developed some sort of cold thing overnight, and all I want to do is go back to bed. But I wanted to do our video for our book club, and this is Demi. Hi, can you lay down for a moment, please? Okay, thank you. So what we were going to talk about this week with this video is chapters 4 through 7. So I don't know about you, but for chapter 4 for me, I just felt like my kind of heart broke for her a little bit, actually a lot, in chapter 4. And she talks about, this, guy that she had kind of had this crush on, and like, he would never, ever, talk to her. But then he asked her to go to prom with her, which she was like, yeah, is he even talking to me? She also talks about, in this part, about the new relationship that her mom had created, with the passing of, her dad not being in the picture anymore, and how her brother, there was kind of that turmoil between the new guy, Paul, and Anthony, because she felt that the mom was choosing this new guy over her son, which I totally can relate to, because my mom, she definitely chose this step monster that came into my life over me. So I really related to that. And if any of you have been, in a family that has gone through a divorce, and then someone else comes into the picture, it is like a real adjustment, but it seems like things kind of started to get better, and it was one of her really good friends' dad, and she was happy for her mom. I really feel in that chapter, but so going through toward the end of the chapter, she ends up getting this, what an honor that she was crowned prom queen, which, she said that she felt that she was, at Tower Page 85, I was beautiful, I was prom queen, I was accepted, I was weightless. So that right there, I was accepted, her feeling accepted, and her feeling weightless, no matter how much she weighed on the scale, what the numbers said, she felt really, really, really good. And that, to me, that made me feel good that she felt that. It also kind of broke my heart, too, because, gosh, why couldn't she feel like that all the time? Why can't we all feel like that all the time? She also then talks about, getting ready for college and all that stuff, and that she had promised herself at the end on page 90 that, she had always found an excuse to eat everything. The night before leaving for college, she packed up the last of her shirts, eyeing the extra large on each of them, and stuffed them into her duffel bag. And she says, "Someday, I promise." And we all know what that someday is. A lot of us have said that over and over and over. Someday, 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 or tomorrow is going to be the day that's going to make those changes. But then to chapter 5, she moves into her dorm room, so she's going for orientation, and she, she's developed great friendships. She is just, doing the things that I remember going to college, and I remember the thing where she talks about going back and forth, with her friends to, the dining hall, and there really weren't a lot of options. I'm really really weird, really weird, but I'm really weird about eating at like dining hall like kind of places, just because really, I don't know, I'm just weird about that, I guess. Like the mass food production, I don't even know. Um, but I would hardly ever eat in the dining hall. And, she talks about the chicken fingers and the fries. And whenever I would, that's the kind of stuff I would eat. Um, and then she talks about Valentine's Day, and then there's this boy that brings her um, and her friends like these little poems, and she had one, and it says to her, "You are beyond words." So when somebody gives you that, and you're like, "Well, okay, right?" And she says her whole heart and her body is tingling. Um, she's just like, looking at this, and this was someone that she had friended, um, and she just, I think she at that moment, that was maybe her first like, wow, someone's reaching out to me and seeing what I don't see in myself, kind of thing. So then just kind of skipping through this because I don't want to make this long like the other one. But they go back and forth. They go on their breaks and stuff, and um, they end up having a kiss and all this other stuff. And she says on page 101, but one very, very fat piece of me remained unhappy. I could see it in the pictures, even in my grinning face, even if my grinning face said otherwise. So she was gaining weight and stuff. But how many of you have pictures of yourselves and you have that smile on, but it's like a fake smile? Like in that picture, it's not a truly happy smile. I have to tell you, sitting at 225 pounds, like 13 months ago, that was me. I didn't ever want to even get in pictures, let alone be in a picture, because my smile was not the smile that you will see today, on my Facebook posts, or even right now, the smile. I was just still like so blocked off, and there was so much going on through, everything. And there was this part in here on page 103 where, they had gone out, Thirsty Thursday and everything in college and having a good old time. And it seemed like she had really, really great friends, which thank goodness she had that, because I just think about what if she wouldn't have had that. These guys stopped and talked to, her friends, but somebody yells from, across the way, "No fatties allowed." And she just said that it was like a swift kick to her stomach, and she felt paralyzed. And you know what? Her friends stood up for her. One of them pulled her away. The other one went off on the person. And she says, "I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Don't worry about me." To her friends, But inside, what she's feeling. You know exactly how she's feeling, like defeated and just broken. And like, why did that person have to yell that? Um, she said she let the hair fall into her face to hide her tears, because it hurts. It hurts. I mean, it's not like when you get like a bruise on your arm or like something like that. It's just like the hurt that you feel in your heart, and you can feel it all through your body. And I mean, do you relate to that? I mean, I definitely can. Um, but then she talks about, like, at the bottom of the page, she said, and with it, an almost suffocating truth, the bigger I grew, the smaller I felt. And gosh, that really hit me too. And I was wondering what you guys thought about that. Um, you know, she talks about on page 104, and I first wondered if it was the security of having found love that kept me fat and made me comfortable enough to grow fatter. Um, so she questioned the satisfaction of acceptance or the fact that her partner enjoyed overeating as much as she did. So she found one person that was like her, someone that was loving her, but at the same time she was wondering, what was this really based on? What was this love based on? And then jumping over to 105, this kicked me in the stomach so hard when they would go out and do their like run, and they'd go to all their different favorite places to eat, like their Dunkin' Donuts and their coffees and their this and that. And then they went to McDonald's to get French fries. So she's eating, and she looks at her friend Sabrina and she says, I don't think I like McDonald's fries at all. And then they laugh and laugh and laugh at each other. But it was an interesting realization to her. She had ordered the fries, she said upwards of probably over 7,000 times in her life. And she ate them regardless. And this was like, she called it her fry revelation. And she thinks and says, I wonder how many other foods I ate that I didn't even like. And then I wondered how briefly if eating was even about liking food at all. Ding, 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 lights going off, all the bells and whistles going. Food is like, look, right here, my blankie. Food is like that blanket, right? Food for me was that blanket. Sometimes I didn't really even like it, and I just kept eating, and it was just like, okay, I'm taking that next step. I don't really like it, but I'm just going to keep eating because one of these bites, I'm going to feel this, that like, everything's going to be okay. I'm okay. Everything's going to be okay kind of thing. That validation, which doesn't happen. And she talks about her routine, which was sleep, eat, class, sleep, eat, get a shower, get party ready, eat, sleep, and repeat. So you know that that's not so good when you're worrying about like losing weight or trying to be healthy at all. And she talks about when we were serving seconds, like on page 107 at the top, grabbing, looking your plate clean. Can I get an extra scoop of that kind of eaters? We wore our affection for food as a badge of honor, as though eating wildly indicated fearlessness, and though eating big meant living big. What do you guys think about that? Let me know what you think about that right there. That's on page 107. Okay. So, and then, page 108. Her mom came to pick her up, okay? And she walks down, if I can just picture her walking her down from her living room, going to the car. And her mom is seeing her walk to the car. And it's in the middle of the page, and she says, her gaze was fixed on my belly. I swallowed hard, almost unable to get down the growing knot of self-consciousness. Last time I saw Mom, I wore a size 18, and now a 22. As I moved closer to the car, she smiled purposefully to let me know how happy she was to see me. I smiled too, but faltered when I noticed her eyes scanning me up and down, pausing as they reached the widest part of my abdomen, just above the tight perimeter of my jeans. I knew as she stared there that she saw what I did when I looked in those photos. My body was like a mushroom, with a stem of legs much too small to hold such an overbearing cat. The more I thought about it, the tighter I contracted every muscle, every fiber in my body. I sucked air, held it in, as if being a fraction of an inch slimmer could vindicate me. How many of you have sucked it in, not tried to breathe, or put on 25 pairs of Spanx, and to the point that like it's cutting you almost? Like well, no, actually, not almost, cutting you, that you can't breathe, and it's all the while, it's not, like, it wasn't really for you, no, it was for those other people, because if they looked at you a certain way, like her mom had looked at her, and you know that her mom was not probably doing it maliciously, it was just like a, oh, kind of thing. Um, I even did that kind of stuff, and we're so worried about what other people thought. That was me. I worried so much about everybody else. I didn't worry about myself. Clearly, they let, everything spiral out of control to go to 225 pounds, and, it was just that, like, I didn't ever think anything was ever gonna change. But totally did, and it totally can, and it totally will for you too. Um, but she says at the end of the chapter that she never said a word about it, not at lunch, not on the phone, not that evening, but Andy knew. She knew, and she was so shocked, so full of despair at how fat I had gotten, speaking to her mom, that it knocked the wind out of her. So there was another realization. She's realizing a lot of things going through college. Chapter 6 is a big one. And I thought she talks about in the second paragraph that she had already planned to start trying to lose weight on Monday. Like she had done in the past, she launched a massive farewell to fat binge. Yeah, how many of you have done that? Yep. Yep, did that. All the things, just eat them, because I'm never going to be able to ever eat them again, so I'm going to eat them all now. But that is not the right way, right? We know that. Andy, no, you want to scream in the book, that's not the right way. That's not the right way when we're reading this, right? But she says that she is at the YMCA with her friend Kate, and she felt unprepared when she stepped on the scale and the needle nearly hit 300 pounds. She stepped off the scale, and then she got back on it because she was thinking, that's not right, right? How many of you have done that? And there it was again, 268 pounds. And she said she remembers saying to herself, I don't like that number. And she thought, it was that I sided with the 300 number now. She wasn't the 200 number, she was at the 300 number. That's where in her mind that she went. And she felt, when she went to that gym, she was so out of place. Didn't know what to do, didn't know anything. She's like, who can I go to, which machine can I go to at the gym that, she says on page 112, which of you will make me feel the least hopeless? Or better yet, which of you will promise not to tell everyone here that I have no idea what I'm doing? How many of you have walked into a gym and you feel like everybody's staring at you, that you have no clue what to do, you're looking at the instructions on the things, and people are beside you going, and you're like, I don't know what to do, and there it is again, you're worried about everybody else and what they're going to think, right? So, she gets on, I think she said she had gotten on to the elliptical, so on page 113, and she said she felt trapped on the machine. Is this what it was going to be like to stay thin? She glanced around her at others. She said the sweat suited them. Their faces were focused and willful and expressed that they were as tired as she felt, and yet their determination was intact. And she wondered, what's the difference about this person and me? How does she finish, look strong and confident, while I, the one who needs to be here as badly as can be, finish 30 minutes feeling exhausted of spirit? Well, the one thing I wanted to say to Andy in this spot, because I am where I am now in my journey. I mean, I felt that way too, but now I'm thinking that woman beside you, she needs to be there too. She may need to be there for exercise because she has a medical condition. She's there to give her heart that 30 minutes a day that our hearts need. She's there maybe for stress relief. She's there for all kinds of things that she might need. We don't know her story, right? We don't know her story, so we can't judge. Um, but there she's actually judging herself too. And yes, she needed it and she felt exhausted, exasperated, everything, but you know what? She was there and she did it. And, throughout the book, she's going to soon to realize, like, it's going to get better. Starting is the hardest part. Taking that first step is the hardest part. Um, and she thinks about, what must the people working at the front desk think of me when we walk in, her and her friend? And for the first time, and she says, in her life, in all of my bigger than big life, I felt afraid. I struggled between wishing away all the food that had collected on my body as fat, fiercely missing every morsel. I wanted to fit in while also wanting so badly to say carelessly F off to all of society. Like, I don't care what you think of me. How many of you have thought that? Like, you think, I wonder what she's thinking, what are they thinking of? But at the same time, then you're like, you know what, I don't care what they're thinking. I don't care what they're thinking. But deep down, you kind of do care what they're thinking. And so I'm just going to keep going because she talks about, she was reminded of her mortality. And I remember going to the doctor's office at 33 years old and them telling me, you're morbidly obese. No, I was 32 because then I'm thinking, but because of my birthday soon. Morbidly obese at 32. That's scary, but it still didn't hit me like it should have. So, I mean, page 116, page 117, I mean, I'll let you guys talk about those pages and what you guys think about the rest of this. And it says, like, on page 121, she felt tremendous comfort in having someone go through this process with her. And I'm telling you, for me, that is what I needed. I needed someone to be there for me and support me. I needed that accountability. I needed support. I needed dedication. I needed all of that thing. I needed a partnership. I needed someone that understood what I was going through. And that's what I found. That's what helped me on my journey. But, she's talking about this, and she goes and she sees the numbers start to fall on the scale. And, she talks about her dad again, which I'll let you guys kind of chime in about too when you guys get to that. And then she talks about how she joined Weight Watchers and that she loved the structure and, she felt comfortable and counting points, like that was good for her. And knowing her portion size, I get that. I totally get that. But what I struggle with Weight Watchers, not bashing them or anything, but like, so you have your points, but and I've done this, I did this, I did like Weight Watchers. I could go and get like the little snack things that had like the 2 or 3 points, and maybe I was allowed like 15 points a day. So I'd eat all of those. Well, that's 15 points, right? How is that healthy? No, you can't do that. That's not good. That's not good for you. And then she talks about how she starts journaling how much she eats and what she ate, and I was like, that's a very good tip. That's a very good tip to do. And that she learned in those 6 months that it had less to do with food and more with herself. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I have so much, the rest of that chapter. I mean, it was just page 128, 129. I'm going to let you guys talk to me about that. Then she goes to Italy in chapter 7. Holy goodness, she's worried about how am I going to stick to these small sensible portions that I've been used to eating, knowing about this, preconceived notion she had about all the food in Italy. But she was just emotionally, stressed, and she's going on page 134. She realizes that was it. She realized I had decided to binge. To binge, she had made that choice to do it. She said, paranoid, I looked at my left and my right, wanting to be sure that no one caught me cheating on health with floozy snacks containing more calories than a mug of heavy cream. Straight up. Want, need, crave, and love, and long, and lust. All those emotions, right? She started to salivate. How many of you have done that? She felt manic and depressive. Don't do. Yep. And it talks about what she did. She goes through, and then she opened up to one of her roommates and told her how much she was struggling with the new city, the new body. She had told her how much weight she had lost and how hard it had been and rewarding in the last 6 months, and how badly she just wanted to break away from all of it and eat the chocolate. So she ate one, and she ate until she felt sick. And she said, I couldn't stop. Okay. And then she said, I ate perhaps without tasting any of it. How many of you have done that? Yep. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and she got mad at herself. She did. She got really angry with herself. She's dealing with a lot, being away, being in this new place, new classes, all this new culture and everything, and the people and the language and everything. But she said she promised herself on page 137 that she wasn't going to do it again. The wanting to be different in order to be perceived as better, yet wishing I didn't have to try so hard. And I know I used to think that. I used to think about people and, that they're just naturally born thin. They're naturally born without, having issues and things like that. But I guess at the same time, they have other things that they're dealing with too, but I know it still makes you feel sad. And she talks about on page 139 that she wanted to quit, and when I'm done quitting, I want to quit again, because she's talking about, the lacrosse and, how, she had went to the gym, this gym that she describes, which is so awesome, that she did this, because I don't know if I would have done that. You know what I mean? Like, kudos to her for seeking that out, right? So she starts to transform and then then she starts talking about, on page 142 and 143, things that start going on in her body, and she's realizing these things. And, going throughout the rest of this chapter, I'm going to stop because I want you guys to talk to me about the rest of chapter 7. And I'm really hoping you're enjoying this book. Please comment, because I want to hear all the things that you're thinking. I want to hear everything you relate to, things you don't relate to. I want to hear all of it. Because I feel like us getting together and doing this as a team, like, it's just going to make us stronger, and we can learn from each other, and that's just the best thing ever, to have that support. So again, apologize for the sniffles and all the I said to my husband, I was like, they're going to be like, who's this girl on this video? That's not who it was. The last time I showered, I did not shower for you today, but I just want you to know that I'm here for you. I want you all to have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I cannot wait to hear what you think about the chapters we've read so far. Mwah! Love to all of you.